High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Welcome to Mitchell Athletic Complex for the 11U Nassau County Youth Football Championships. Everyone, I'm Jared Veluzzi. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we got a showdown on our hands. It's the Massapequa Mustangs taking on the Bellmore Braves. And for Massapequa, they have gotten off to an amazing season so far, but when I talked with the Mustangs coaching staff, it wasn't about the records. It was about how much of a bond this team has created. And they say it's one that is matched like no other. And with Bellmore, they have also had a terrific season up until this point, and they're looking to get this season off with a bang. And there's a little bit of an onside kick, but Bellmore will recover to start things out. So the Braves offense will get things going after the onside kick was recovered by James Olmenschneider. And for this Bellmore offense, they are led by Nicholas Christopoulos, one of the top running threats in the 11U division. And he's joined by a big backfield with Christian Trampus, Christopher Santiago, Joseph Petridis, Matthew Firo, Justice Shaw, Johnny Losky, and Joseph Camiso, Xavier Griffs, Nico Feda, TJ Impardo, Luca Curso, and James Olmenschneider will be the offensive line in front of them. And with Bellmore, they run a wing system. They are a power run team, and we're going to be seeing a lot of that here, as they have several threats really being able to take over games this season, and they're going against a really tough Massapequa front, which we'll get into in a little bit. So first play from the 46-yard line, and it's a power run right up the middle, able to get a couple of yards. And Joseph Petridis, we mentioned him in the open. He was actually a right guard in previous seasons for the Bellmore Braves, but because of his amazing abilities to run the football, they moved him into the backfield. And we see the power that he possesses when he's able to get the ball into tight spaces, and he'll certainly be a player to watch in this one. And once again, it's another power run up the middle, and this Bellmore offensive line has gotten off to a good start in the first 2 plays. And with the Braves offensive line, they are led by center TJ Impardo. His nickname, the Lion. And Impardo is one of the most powerful blockers that we'll see in the 11U division, and Bellmore able to get a first down after the tough ground and pound play. So Petridis gets the play for his teammates. And it's Christopoulos under center. And the give is to Christopoulos, direct snap. And he goes right up the middle, but only a couple yards. And that's what the Mustangs defense is looking for. And you take a look at this defensive line. Justin Fazzolari and Jay Coppola, Aiden Campos, Connor Sheridan, and William Delury is the D-line. The linebackers, Cody Shand, Carter Blumensetter, James Maroney, and the secondary, Luke Carney, Anthony Ruiz, and Henry LaBarbera. Very explosive defense, looking to make a lot of plays like they've done all season. And now Christopoulos looking to air one out deep into double coverage. Almost intercepted, but it falls down. And that Massapequa secondary was ready for it. As we were introducing the Mustangs secondary, Luke Carney, Henry LaBarbera, and Anthony Ruiz are guys that could fly all over the football field. All extremely talented players. It's been difficult to get things going against this Mustangs D. So it'll be 3rd and 9 from the 46. And now it'll be a run right up the middle, but it looked like the Mustangs defense got there right away, and they did. There's not enough space for Trampus. And Cody Shan, the linebacker, on the stop. And Shand, he's not only tough, but he has the knack to make a big play, is what the coaches told us earlier in the week. He has been terrific on the defensive side of the ball. One of the leading tacklers for the Mustangs all year. But a big 4th down, 4th and 8. Braves are going to have to get a pretty big play here. And it looked like Bellmore might have moved. The Massapequa sideline is loving it. And something about this Mustangs team that the coaches talked about was, listen, they go hard in practice. They will go at each other as hard as they can. But afterwards, they're really such a family. They'll fool around with each other. They hang out off the field. And on the sideline, they're getting pumped for their brothers out there. And, I mean, it's just all about the excitement in these games, which makes it so special. And the Massapequa Mustangs organization as a whole has been terrific, right? I mean, Massapequa Nassau County champions in high school this year. 43 of those players were Mustangs. Now Christopoulos looking for a pass deep, and that one is intercepted. What a play here by the Mustangs secondary. And it looked like it was Luke Carney. And we'll take another look at it here, as after the penalty, Bellmore knew they had to go deep. And Christopoulos launched one downfield. And Luke Carney, who's known as one of the top running backs in the division, says, hey, I could play defense as well. And Carney goes up there, makes a play for the Mustangs. And Massapequa will take over. And for Massapequa, they're led by quarterback Justin Fazzolari. And, of course, the head coach, Steve Fazzolari, has done a great job with these kids all year long. And now Fazzolari tosses it. It's going to be Carney. And Carney, after making a man miss, it looked like the ball was on the ground, but Massapequa's going to recover it. And it was Anthony Ruiz just being in a good spot there. Ruiz, we mentioned him in the secondary, being all over the place. And now we'll take another look at it. And Carney does a great job making the first man miss, but then just loses the ball, as it looked like that Bellmore defense, it was number 15, Christopher Santiago, getting a hand on it. And Santiago, great field vision. His coaches say he's a prototypical safety. And now 2nd and 8. Fazzolari under center. Play action. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he's got a man. Off to the races. It's Connor Sheridan. See you later. Touchdown, Mustangs. And Fazzolari not afraid to throw it downfield. He throws a beautiful pass to the tight end, Connor Sheridan. And they said he was an elite receiving threat. We see it there. Sheridan is going to go the distance. And Massapequa with a 6-0 lead. They hit on the big play early. So now, of course, it'll be the conversion attempt. We'll see if they elect to pass or run here. It's Fazzolari under center. 3 players in the backfield. And Fazzolari looks to the sideline for a second. 5:35 in the first quarter. Massapequa here for the conversion. And the give, it looks like it's to Carney. He's going to power his way in. And check that. That was Jason Maroney, number 13. And we'll take a look at the replay. And Fazzolari, after taking the snap right to Maroney, and Maroney not afraid to lower the shoulder. And he gets into the end zone. 7-0. The Mustangs lead over Bellmore after the big hitter, Justin Fazzolari to Connor Sheridan. And for Massapequa, you also have to give credit to, this offensive line that's been so good all season. Joseph Krennick, Ryan Tessar have been tremendous on the left side of the line so far. And this Mustangs offense gets off to the exact start they were looking for. And Bellmore getting ready to receive here. And one cool thing about this Bellmore Braves team that, they pride themselves on is faith is a big factor on this football team. When I was talking with Coach Losky beforehand, he said this team prays together every single chance they get. And Johnny Losky headed to church every single Sunday. And, of course, Bellmore putting God first, big reason to their success. And, of course, Bellmore looking to come out on top as a champion today. And they trail 7-0. And it's going to be another onside kick. This one cleanly picked up by Christopher Santiago. Santiago, after making a man miss, is still on his feet for a second before getting gang tackled. And Maroney and Carney were a part of it. And it looks like a Brave is down on the field. And it's good to see that Brave getting off the field on his feet as Santiago will jog to the sideline. And this Bellmore offense getting ready to come back out here. And on that first possession, we saw that offensive line do a real solid job getting a good push before a costly penalty, forcing a 4th and long. But with this offense line, I talked about TJ Impardo, but he's not the only one. Nico Feda has been great at the right guard spot. Xavier Griffs, who's a first-year player, has been tremendous as a right tackle, being able to move some bodies and help this run game excel. And now it was a direct snap. It looked like that was the Christian Trampus. And Trampus is a 3-sport athlete, excelling in not only football, but lacrosse and wrestling. All 3 sports that you could say pretty physical. And Trampus loves it, as he is one of these great power runners. A 2-way starter since his 7-year-old season for this Bellmore Braves squad. As 4 minutes and 50 seconds here in the first quarter of play. It's a 7-0 lead for Massapequa. And now it's another give to Trampus. And he is met in the backfield. And once again, it's Anthony Ruiz. Right place, right time. And that's a textbook tackle from number 2. And all year long with Ruiz as a defensive back, not much gets outside of him. He's able to meet the runner and make a big-time play for this Mustangs defense when needed. As you see him and Carney, the cornerbacks for this defense. The safety is Henry LaBarbara. You see him kind of quarterbacking the defense over there at the top of your screen. And now another give up the middle. And this one, a successful carry there, as it looked like that was to Christopoulos, and Bellmore is going to have it at their own 45-yard line. And it looks like Bellmore went early there, so it's going to be a false start. And the Braves will have to move back. So a 5-yard penalty now from the 40-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down here. No, check that. And the direct snap is to Christopoulos. And Massapequa all over it. And the Chiefs are ready there for the power run. Christopoulos got a good block originally. And actually it was 4th down. So Chiefs offense looks like it'll be back onto the field. Mustangs offense. As Fazzolari getting the play call from his coach. And Justin Fazzolari has been a terrific quarterback for this offense, as he was described as a great leader, basically like a coach on the field for this Mustangs team. And they said currently, during the season, he made some big throws for them when he needed to. And you could say he started off with a bang in this one with a long touchdown pass to Connor Sheridan. So it's Fazzolari under center with 3 players in the backfield. And another successful run for the Mustangs, as it was Jason Maroney powering his way, but there is a flag on the field. And it'll be a holding call on Massapequa. But one thing that makes this Mustangs team real dangerous is, of course, you have Fazzolari, an all-around athlete. Luke Carney is an excellent running back, but you also have a guy like Jason Maroney who can really just flat out make plays. And Maroney, known as a shifty runner, but also with great vision. And we've been seeing that a lot so far, really with a 1-2 punch with Carney, as well as Fazzolari also being able to run the ball. So 2 receivers to the far side, and a little bit of a reverse here. And a lot of room and only daylight ahead of them. See you later, Carter Blumensetter, just inside the 5-yard line. And we see a lot of Blumensetter on defense as one of the top linebackers in this league. How about his impact on the offensive side of the ball? They put him in here for an offensive series, and he almost took this one to the house. What a start, though, for the Mustangs. And Blumensetter continuously showing why he's one of the top players in the 11U division. And that Massapequa offensive line, led by Jay Coppola, who is a captain for this team, doing good things at center. And Ronald Scrimenti, Blaise Regis as well, also displaying their abilities early. And now a run up the middle, getting a couple yards. Did they get there? And it'll be just short, so right at the 1-yard line. And some subs coming onto the field for Massapequa now, as we'll see William Delurai, as well as Anthony Ruiz coming into the game. And the Mustangs will quickly get into a formation. And a whistle on the field. Looks like it'll be a timeout. It's the end of the first quarter. So time running out here. It's Massapequa up against Bellmore, 7-0. It was a Connor Sheridan touchdown, putting the Mustangs ahead. And now Pequa within striking distance once again. And we'll have that second quarter coming up shortly.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level.
We are back here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. I'm Jared Veluzzi, and the second quarter of play just getting underway as it's Massapequa and Bellmore for the 11U and Nassau County Youth Football Championships. A day that all these kids had on their calendar circled. And the Mustangs within striking distance, looking to take a two-possession lead. And an opportunity, and was the ball on the ground there? It was, and it's recovered by the Braves. And Justice Shaw was the one to come away with it. What a stop by Bellmore in a crucial moment where this Braves team needed to stand tall. They do exactly that. And what a play by Shaw, the defensive end. And Shaw has extremely high football IQ for an 11-year-old. And overall strength and athleticism has just been skyrocketing for him. But a challenging thing for Bellmore right now. They are starting right inside their 1-yard line. So backed up almost as far as you possibly can be. And it's Christopoulos going right up the middle. Not much room, maybe getting a yard. And Christopoulos, an impact two-way player with possibly one of the best nicknames that I've seen. They call him Cowboy. And he is a downhill, fearless player. Excited to see what he does in this game. So here we go, second down. Still at their 1-yard line. And it's Christopoulos getting the outside. He's got the edge. Christopoulos cuts back in. But it looks like the ball's on the carpet. And it is recovered by the Mustangs. Henry LaBarbera gets the fumble recovery. And after fumbling on their possession, Massapequa says, we'll return the favor. And what a play by the Mustangs defense this time. And now in golden position. And we'll take a look at it here. After Christopoulos got the edge, it was an amazing play by Carter Blumensetter. And Blumensetter, a sideline-to-sideline linebacker, who is one of the best players in this division when I was talking to these coaches. And he makes a big-time play on the big stage for the Mustangs. He had a great run earlier on offense. And this time, he does it defensively at that middle linebacker spot. And Fazzolari on the handoff. And not much doing. It looked like Trampus was there on the tackle after Carney had a pretty good run, but looked like he was going off to the sideline, but he's going to go back into the game. And Fazzolari's got the play. He'll go into the huddle. And for Massapequa, you have to think with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the second quarter, if they're able to score, definitely will be game-changing. So once again, 3 players in the backfield. It's Fazzolari under center. Fazlari this time, another handoff. And getting some positive yardage there was Carney. So at the 9-yard line, after the carry by Carney, it was Christopoulos getting the tackle for Bellmore. And Christopoulos has been a great linebacker along with Christian Trampus, both tackling machines. But up front on the D-line, we talked about Justice Shaw. You can't forget about Hunter Romano, another defensive end. He was a first-year player and immediately started for this Bellmore team, making a big impact. But here's third down. And some power football here up the middle by the Mustangs. Right at the first down marker. Might be a little short, but the Mustangs think they got the first down. We'll see where the ref marks it, but it will be fourth down. So a big fourth down play coming up. We saw earlier this Bellmore team stand tall when they forced that fumble, and Justice Shaw was able to get the recovery, but now it's 4th and inches. Power on power, two of the strongest teams in the 11U division. And Shaw on the handoff. Looks like it's enough for the first down. Is it enough for the end zone? It is. Luke Carney powers his way in. And the Mustangs will extend the lead. 13-0. And on 4th and inches, the Mustangs go to number 33. And it's Carney not stopping after the initial contact. And after getting met by a defender, it was Carney still churning those legs and being able to break the plane. And I was told earlier, when talking about Carney, he's got the speed to run to the outside. He can burn defenders that way. But he also has the power to run right up the gut. And he does exactly that. He powers inside, gets his first touchdown on Championship Sunday. And a flag on the field. It looks like it's going against Massapequa. So the Mustangs will move back here. 6:24 left in the second quarter. It's been a terrific start for Massapequa. Up 13-0. But now they're backed up here. So a much longer conversion attempt. And it's going to be play action. It's Fazzolari looking end zone. That one batted down. It was Christopher Santiago on the coverage. And Santiago wanted the interception, but still doing a great job in pass coverage. Such great recognition skills by Santiago. It's not easy to read a play action like that. And Santiago sticking with the receiver, making a play. And let's take another look at it. And a good route ran too, but great defense by Santiago. So a good stop for Bellmore, as they are only down 13-0. So 2 possessions is a lot, but still a lot of game left to play. So big offensive possession upcoming for the Braves if they're able to retain this kickoff. So the Mustangs getting set to kick off here. As on to kick, James Pola. Pola does a little bit of everything. And an onside kick. Did it go the distance? It certainly did. But Bellmore will recover it. Almost another amazing play by Massapequa. But the Braves will retain possession. But I was talking about James Pola earlier on the kickoff. I have to say, he does it on the offensive line. He'll also play some linebacker. And now he's kicking the ball as well. A little bit of everything. But it looked like a player was down for a moment. But Ullman Schneider back up on his 2 feet, which is always great to see. And with this Bellmore team, we're actually able to get some statements from the players. And speaking of Ullman Schneider, he and a couple of the big boys up front, when talking about the game of football, really just means about the Brave brothers. We talked about that bond that they have with God, which is so important to them, but having each other's backs is all about Bellmore Braves football. And, they have been representing that brand all season long and, of course, looking to come away with an 11U championship. But here's an offense possession. It's Christopoulos. And look at Cowboy move. Christopoulos powering his way into Massapequa territory. And looking like it's at the 41-yard line. So a big gain of 8. And it's another snap. It's Christopoulos. This time, a little bit less yards. Because they'll see the impact that he brings to this Braves offense. A lot of vision and a lot of power. And it looked like Fada banged up for a second. He'll take a break on the sideline. But Fada, certainly a warrior on this Braves team. Started the season really well. Actually ended up getting sick mid-year with mono. But his coaches said that he battled back and is so excited to be out there with his brothers. And he's given it his all every single play. And that's really what has been this entire Brave squad. And also on this offensive line, Joseph Camiso. An extremely bright future for him. One of the bigger players on this team has prototypical size and strength at the offensive line spot. And another run right up the gut. So 4:39 in the first half. 3rd and 5, it looks like. And this one right to Christopoulos. And he is met by a group of Mustangs. And Massapequa, Aiden Campos, big number 66, looking to make his presence felt. He's also joined by William Delori, who has been great. And, of course, number 88, Connor Sheridan, had the big touchdown earlier, doing great things on defense. And here's a big 4th down coming up. And we'll have a timeout by Bellmore as a crucial play coming here in the first half. They're looking to get some points on the board before the half expires. Down by 2 possessions, and a touchdown here would be crucial. Here on 4th down, you got to think that they might go with the Cowboy, as he has certainly been getting some yards on this drive. But not an easy team to run right up the middle on, as of course we've seen it today, and also all year long, Jay Coppola has been tremendous at the defensive tackle spot. His coaches had high praise for him, as Coppola usually requires a double team on every single play. But it's not just him on this defensive line. You know, I talked about Campos, Delory, a lot of good players. And Joe Dragoo as well on the D-line. Same with Ryan Tessar, who plays both sides of the football, just like many of these Mustangs. So here we go, 4th and short, and they will go with the Cowboy, and he is going to get the first down with ease. So Christopoulos helping Bellmore move the football. As so many threats here for this Braves team. And up front, we see Luca Curso playing really well. Same with Hunter Romano. And we'll get another timeout here, so both teams talking things over. Of course, this is one of the most important possessions of this one. And what an eventful first half that we've had here. If you're just joining us, both defenses making a lot of plays. With Massapequa, we saw Luke Carney come away with a huge interception. And then also the Mustangs had a fumble recovery. And Bellmore also not too shabby on defense themselves, as it looked like the Mustangs were going to get another score. They end up standing tall and forcing a fumble, as they've been playing well on that side of the football. So this big, strong Braves offensive line comes back onto the field. And what a battle of titans it is up front. You got to give the big fellas some love there on both sides of the ball. And now Christopoulos drop back to pass. He elects to run after making a few men miss. It looks like he's going to get back to the initial line of scrimmage. So he was met by Ronald Scrimenti there. And Scrimenti, one of those many talented Massapequa defenders. And why this Mustangs D has been really good all years. They really play as a unit. And they fly to the football, but they're always there to pick each other up if something goes wrong. And, of course, like I mentioned before, they just love to have fun with it. And now Christopoulos on the direct snap. He makes a man miss. Christopoulos has the edge. And what a play by Nicholas Christopoulos as he gets a big gain. So that one just inside the 15-yard line. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. A big first down for the Braves, and I think they found a pretty good recipe on this drive. It's been feed the Cowboy. We'll see if they continue it. But this time, it's a good carry. It looked like that was Christian Trampus. And Trampus has the combination of power and athleticism that we've seen this year. And Trampus gets a couple yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7 now. But time is ticking. Just approaching the minute 30 mark. And now the snap. Christopoulos able to hold on to it after it was over his head. And that one could have been disastrous if he wasn't able to recover the fumble, as there was some Mustang defenders right there ready to get a little scoop and score action. But good job by Christopoulos to stay calm and cool and collect these, able to recover it. And we'll take another look at it here. And the snap just off his hands, but he does really a phenomenal job with so many Mustangs coming after him just to really get on the football and make sure that Bellmore has an opportunity. And the Braves will take a timeout. So 4 yards lost on that play. It's 3rd and 11 with 43 seconds left in the first half. And we've only seen Bellmore attempt, I believe, 2 passes so far in this one. But now with time running down at the 15-yard line, we'll see if they elect to draw up one of their creative plays. Get their playmakers into space, see a pass downfield. And Bellmore's offense back onto the field. Mustangs defense looking to do the same. And here we go. So they did put time back on the clock. It's 49 seconds here in the first half. And it's Christopoulos looking like an empty shotgun set. One receiver to the far side. It's Santiago. And Christopoulos thought about it. He's going to throw. Santiago just out of his hands. And what a play design. Great execution from everybody there. As Santiago did an amazing job getting open. Christopoulos, awesome avoiding a defender, but just missing the execution. And we'll take a look at it here. Christopoulos, what a play, avoiding a defender. Throws a dime, but just out of the hands of Santiago. But still got to give props to Christopher Santiago being able to get open and get an opportunity in the end zone. So Bellmore still trailing 13-0. That was 4th down. So Massapequa will take over. Oh, excuse me. Bellmore still with possession. And this was 4th down, but nothing doing. As that time Trampus was stopped. So the Mustangs defense comes up big after Bellmore is able to get into the red zone. And this Mustangs defense, it looks like they're going to close out the first half with a shutout, barring something happening here in these 28 seconds. But Cody Shand, who I mentioned earlier, great linebacker. He's been playing very well. Carter Blumensetter, Jason Maroney, and then you got Luke Carney in the secondary. And at the nose tackle position, Aiden Campos, listen, he might not get, the glory like some other guys, but he does a great job clogging holes. He's been one of the most improved players on this Mustangs team this year, and he's really been doing a great job. And other players that play both sides of the ball, Antonio Gugalemi, Mitchell Clagnez. Both of them have impacted the game wherever they possibly can. And after that, quick kneel, it'll be the end of the first half. It's Massapequa up 13-0 over Bellmore, thanks to Connor Sheridan and Luke Carney. Touchdowns by the Mustangs. They take the 2-possession lead heading into the break, and we'll have the second half of action after the intermission.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media, and there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know, from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media.
Hey Mom and Dad, how about a personalized hype video of your athlete produced by Varsity Media? Cinematic coverage of game action, plus on-camera interviews by our crew set to music will make your son or daughter look like the next superstar. Perfect for social media fame and college recruiting. Don't wait, reach out today. Spots are limited this fall. 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Welcome back to the Varsity Media Sports Network second half. Just about to get underway here in the Nassau County Youth Football 11-year-old championships between Massapequa and Bellmore. And here at Varsity Media, we'd like to announce the new partnership with Gipper, the #1 social media content creation platform for all athletic programs. Take your athletic program to the next level with Gipper. We are excited where this partnership will go. Visit Gipper.com to learn more. And in that first half, a lot of success on the side of the Mustangs. And on their first possession, it was a big-time play as Justin Fazzolari over to Connor Sheridan. Big play Sheridan helped the Mustangs get on the board first. And after that, we saw the Mustangs also cash in on a Luke Carney power run up the middle. And that led them to the 13-0 lead, and they'll also get the ball to start off. And late in that first half, the Mustangs were backed up in the red zone, but they got a good stop against Bellmore as the Braves, you got to think, this offense found a rhythm late. And here we go, second half of action. That kickoff recovered by the Mustangs. And great job there by number 5, Justin Fazzolari, being able just to pounce on it. Not letting Bellmore flip the switch. So 9:58 as the third quarter just getting underway, and the Mustangs looking to put this one out of reach, potentially, if they're able to get a third touchdown. So man in motion now, 3 players in the backfield. And here's a handoff, a lot of room, and a good run there by Luke Carney, the workhorse for the Mustangs. And he has played that role all year long. But he has some good fullbacks on this roster in front of him. Luca Pedalino, number 3, a great worker for this Pequa team. And Chase Santero has also been a very good blocker. He's a wide receiver, but really likes to get down and dirty, make the little plays for this Mustang team. And then, of course, you have Nicholas Calora and Antonio Gugalemi. Always making some tough blocks. And now here's another handoff. But that time the Bellmore defense does a good job. And it looked like Trampus and Impardo were able to get there. And Luca Curso also has done a good job on this line. And a player is down on the field just a minute into this third quarter. And both teams will head over to their sideline as both coaches and make sure to click that QR code in the top left corner. Follow us on social media, as Varsity Media had a lot of entertaining high school games if you're a high school sports fan. Of course, we're going to see a lot of these players here in this 11U game at the next level, not too far away. Parents, once you blink your eyes, you'll be seeing them on the Varsity Media Sports Network more and more. So follow us on social media. Click that QR code. Instagram has been popping recently. The Catholic League Championships were this past weekend. Also had the Nassau County Public League Championships. You can take a look at some clips and some full games as well on the YouTube channel. So Luke Carney on his 2 feet, which is good to see, as he has really been a tremendous player for the Mustangs in this one. You want to talk about someone who's done a little bit of everything? You look at number 33 in black. He had an interception to really set the tone for this Mustangs defense earlier. And then we saw the speed on display, but his touchdown came with a lot of power. But a good thing with this Massapequa team, they have a lot of depth at that position. So Jason Maroney, number 13, in the backfield now. It's 1 receiver to the far side, 2 players in the backfield. 8 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the third frame. And Massapequa will now take a timeout to talk things over. As 8 and change, and if you're just joining us in the first half, Massapequa started off a championship the way they were exactly looking for. It was a big hitter, as Justin Fazzolari threw a bomb downfield to big number 88 Connor Sheridan, and Sheridan was off to the races. That really got things started for Pequa. They went up 7-0. And then a Luke Carney TD, which I was talking about prior, also happened as well. And the Mustangs defense made some timely plays, forcing 2 turnovers so far. But back to action. It's going to be a QB sneak. Fazzolari right up the middle. He gets a good push from the big fellas. Fazzolari's still going. Are you serious? The power from the Mustangs on display as Fazzolari dragging a couple defenders, but you got to give credit to the big fellas up front. The support from his teammates, pushing number 5 in black, getting a ton of yards. 1st and 10 now from the 33. But for Massapequa, let's give credit to this starting offensive line, right? I mean, Joseph Krenek has started every single game this season, doing a great job at left tackle. And I've mentioned Ronald Scrimenti making plays on both sides of the football, and Jake Capola has been one of the best linemen all year in this division. And now here's another handoff. And a theme with these Pequa running backs have been able to just drag defenders with them. One of the most impressive things that I've seen so far in these games is, like, after initial contact, still being able to pick up a ton of yards. The yards after contact has really been amazing for a lot of these running backs all over the division. It really speaks to the talent that is in this league. As this has been the opening drive for the Mustangs, 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter. So taking off some clock so far, has a lot of successful runs. And Fazzolari looking like a little miscommunication, and Bellmore the beneficiary of it. As it was Cowboy, Nicholas Christopoulos. We've seen him a lot at quarterback making some plays, but trust me, he is one of the most talented linebackers that you'll see. He shows it there. So he gets in on the stop. And Luca Curcio has also been doing his thing up front. You take a look at this Bellmore defense on your screen here. Just so much talent. I mentioned Justice Shaw with that big fumble recovery early. That really helped Bellmore stay in this one. And with a big third down coming up here, the Braves are looking to get another stop, limit this Massapequa explosive offense. And it's play action. Fazzolari throws over the middle. And once again, it's Connor Sheridan. Big play Sheridan gets it inside the 5-yard line. It's Fazzolari to Sheridan, and the Mustangs are in business. And it's been a lot of running the football for the Mustangs so far this afternoon. But when number 5 has been asked to throw the football, he makes plays like this. Let's take a look. It's Fazzolari, quick decision, throwing it right into the hands of Sheridan. And for Bellmore, you got to give credit to Christopher Santiago. Touchdown saving tackle. Number 15 in white flies all over the field. I mean, this Bellmore defense has been fast and physical. It has not been easy on Massapequa to score points. But just approaching the halfway mark in the third quarter. 3 players in the backfield. It's going to be a QB sneak. It's Fazzolari powering his way up the middle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Mustangs. And let's take a look at it here. Fazzolari calls his own number. And oh, what blocking by the offensive line. Jay Coppola and company making a big-time play. And the captain at the center position has been doing it all year long. Just another example. And Ronald Scrimenti as well been great on the O-line. But here's a conversion attempt for the Mustangs as they have a comfortable 19-0 lead. And this time the give looked like it was just a little short. And good defense there by the Braves, getting in on it. Antonio Idavaya was there on the tackle with some help as well from Braves defenders. So it is all Mustangs so far. A lot of success on both sides of the field. As just 5:04 in the third. Massapequa will get ready to kick off. And, you know, one thing with, it looks like it's going to be James Polo once again on the kickoff. I mentioned it earlier, but really just a do-it-all guy who has been, you know, so effective wherever the coaches ask him to do. And, you know, he'll be fun to keep an eye on. And although it's been a lot of mention of Fazzolari, Carney, Sheridan, the skill guys, up front, Ryan Tessar, John Dragu, Joseph Krennick, Blaise Regis, Aiden Campos, Ryan Bolzano, all those guys along with Scrimenti really have set the tone, whether it's in this game or just throughout the year, pushing each other in practice. So here we go, Scrimenti, a little squib kick. And that one handled on the far side. It's Hayden Quinn. And Hayden Quinn is one of the first-year players for Bellmore. And he's been able to make a big impact, but the coaches really just say he's just a joy to be around. And he's able to play several positions on offense. Kind of just a threat with the ball in his hands. And one great thing with this Bellmore program, and honestly both with this Massapequa program as well, you know, the sport of football really not only bringing them together, but helping each of them grow into the young men that they're all becoming eventually, as the parents couldn't be happier. Now here's an opportunity. Out into space, it was Trampus. And Christian Trampus showing off the agility and the shiftiness. Gets a nice play for Bellmore. And we'll take another look at it. Direct snap to Trampus. Does a good job getting through the hole, making two men miss. And a good stiff arm there, but he ended up getting brought down. And Henry LaBarbera did a good job on that tackle. Now another snap, it's Trampus. This time he is met. Multiple defenders there, including Cody Shand, the big linebacker, making a good play. So Shand has been tremendous. Now we also see Chase Santoro into the game at LB. And with this Mustangs team, I mean, so many of these guys just relentlessly hard workers. And it's really coming to pay off so far as they have a big advantage, 19-0. And now direct snap, Trampus. Made a man miss for a second before taking a hard hit, but he pops right back up. And we got a third down coming up. As we are quickly approaching the 3-minute mark in the third frame. And in that backfield for Bellmore, we see Trampus, the Cowboy, Nicholas Christopoulos, and Joseph Petridis, who's done a great job blocking. This time, they give it to the Cowboy. But not much room there. And big number 91, Jake Coppola has been great up the middle. And Christopoulos a little bit banged up. As he's on his feet, though, he will take a breather. And we got a big fourth down coming up. So 4th and 8. Bellmore's certainly in a situation where it feels like they almost need to convert in order to stay in this one. So Christopoulos not on the field. We'll see who they go to. And Matt Firo coming in. And Firo, known as a player that can pretty much execute anything you ask him to. Now the man in motion is Trampus. He gets the handoff. Trampus looking to get to the outside, but nowhere to go. It's Cody Shand with the big tackle. And the Mustangs defense, once again, getting a big stop. And the Pequa offense will get back on the field. And the speed of this Massapequa team has been really on display here so far. And when talking to Coach Fazzolari, he said, with this defensive unit, and honestly, with this whole team, all they care about is getting a win for the Mustangs. And it's not about individual success with Massapequa Mustangs. It's all about getting it done for the team and being together. And, they've been really showing a lot of success here today. And Fazzolari, it looked like he was on the carry, going up the middle, getting some yards. And Fazzolari getting back onto the field here as third quarter at the near end point. It's about to be a minute 30 left. As one receiver to the far side, there's going to be a handoff. And it looked like that was to to Maroney, but nowhere really to go. As that was a good stop there by Petridis. And Joseph Petridis also showing some good sportsmanship there. And he's really been a very talented player for this Bellmore-Merrick Braves team all year. And under a minute to go. We'll see if the Mustangs get to run one or two more plays. As a receiver to the near side, I formation. And a great tackle there as it was Christopoulos bringing down Maroney. And Christopoulos limping a little bit, but it looks like he's staying in, man. He's got the toughness, and so many of these players, honestly, on this field have been praised for how tough they are. And, week in, week out, giving it their all, whether it's playing both sides of the field. And, they've been showing it in this championship game. And that'll do it for the third quarter of play. It's Massapequa with a 19-0 lead over Bellmore here in the Nassau County Youth Football 11-year-old Championships. We'll have the fourth quarter when we come back from the break.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to the Varsity Media Sports Network. the Nassau County Youth Football 11-year-old championship game in the final quarter of play. As Massapequa facing a 4th down here with a 19-point lead. Fazzolari looking to draw Bellmore off sides, but this Braves defense showing some discipline. And here we go. The lights come on here at Mitchell, and the Mustangs are going to get a first down. And it was to Blumensetter. And earlier in the game, if you weren't able to see, Carter Blumensetter had a huge run to set up Massapequa, I believe, inside the 5. But Blumensetter makes an impact pretty much wherever he is on the field for Massapequa. And, of course, up 3 possessions here. In the 4th quarter, we're going to see a lot of runs from Massapequa, and they're going to try to eat as much clock as possible. Make it very difficult for Bellmore. And Fazzolari showing some leadership there on the field, and another run up the middle. And some more success on the ground. That time, it's a big number 30, Antonio Gugalemi. And Gugalemi, listen, he is not only one of the top players in this 11U division. He might not get the glory that, the running backs do, but he's one of the best blocking fullbacks that you'll see. And one of the reasons why Massapequa has been great has been big number 30, paving the way along with the rest of these amazing blockers. And Fazzolari this time over to Maroney. And Maroney, another successful run. Going to set up a 3rd and short. And coming into the game for the Mustangs, John Dragu. And Dragu, a good 2-way lineman. Same with William Russ, number 20. Has done his share all season long. And a run up the middle. Not much doing. And for Bellmore, although now they are trailing by a lot, but this season really has been extremely successful with, of course, not only getting to this game, but, everything that they've built within these boys all season long. And we'll see if they get an opportunity to showcase some more here in the 4th quarter. As Massapequa taking their time, 6:48 left in the 4th quarter. It's a 19-point lead for the Mustangs. And it's Blumensetter, and Carter Blumensetter is going to put the icing on the cake. How about it for number 99? It's another touchdown for the Mustangs. We saw Blumensetter with a long run earlier. This time he says, I'm getting into the end zone. There was no denying him. And Massapequa up 25-0. And the coaches said he can score anytime he gets the ball in his hands. Well, this time he shows it. A great block by Gugalemi and also by Maroney. And you give Blumensetter that type of space, he's going to make you pay. So Carter Blumensetter, big touchdown. And the Mustangs are on their way. And now it looks like we're going to see a kick attempt. So James Pola looking to attempt the extra point. And the holder is Maroney. Good snap, good hold, and it is good. James Pola cashing in on the kick. How about it? I said it before and I'll say it again. Big 56 could do a little bit of everything. 2 points for the Mustangs. And the Massapequa faithful is loving it. And how about this Mustangs team giving the love to 56? All immediately going to James Pola, congratulating him, making that extra point. And it's not easy to be a kicker in general, but kicking on the championship game in front of everybody, in front of, all the parents on the big stage, biggest game of the season, he nails it. So a 27-0 lead for the Mustangs. And they're going to get ready to kick off here. So once again, the guys back deep. Looks like it is Quinn and Shaw, two explosive players for Bellmore. And it'll be Pola kicking off. And Pola gets a good kick. And that one inside the 30, Quinn's going to pick it up. Hayden Quinn looking to get the outside. And that time he gets dragged out of bounds. Great play by Chase Santoro on the tackle. And Santoro, just like so many of these Mustang players, it feels like they really do have a couple unsung heroes that just make the little plays, do the type of work that, when no one's watching, and is able to, come away with some big plays. And into the game, Santino Morrissey. And Santino Morrissey, tight end and defensive back, will play anywhere coach asks him to. Nicholas Colra also into the ball game here. And Luca Pedalino at safety. And the Mustangs D was ready for it. And you see big William Russ, number 20, on the line. And under 6 minutes here. And flags on the field. And it looks like it will go against the offense. So Bellmore will back up. And it'll be 2nd and 15 from their own 28. Braves looking to get some momentum here late. And it's Christian Trampus. Trampus makes a man miss, still on his feet. There goes Trampus. Onto the far side. And although Bellmore hasn't scored yet, some of these athletes in the backfield are exceptional. And Christian Trampus is one of them. And, of course, he's been accompanied by Nicholas the Cowboy Christopoulos, who's shown to be one of the strongest players in this division. And Joseph Petridis, Matthew Firo, also doing their thing in the backfield. And once again, Trampus direct snap. Christian Trampus has some room getting out of bounds just around midfield. And great play there. Luca Pedalino on the tackle, and all the Mustangs are fired up there as Pedalino and John Dragu getting excited for each other as they prevent the big play. And now on their own 49-yard line. We'll see if they go back to big number 5. It's Trampus. Once again with another carry, he's going to get some positive yardage. And some good blocking by this offensive line, as Joseph Camiso and TJ Impardo leading the way. And you also see Johnny Losky. And Losky, just like so many of these other Bellmore players, putting their faith first. And now here's Christian Trampus, who has had an exceptional drive. And Trampus here on the near side getting a lot of yards to the 30-yard line. But once again, Luca Pedalino gets a big tackle for the Mustangs. And the energy that, all these players come with to the field is really just amazing to watch. And, here on Championship Sunday, I've been seeing a lot of it. So the snap is to Trampus once again. He goes up the middle. Oh, Trampus, the acceleration still on his feet. Gets to the 15-yard line. So 2:47 left in this game. Trampus bobble the snap, still has it. Christian Trampus on his feet for a moment before getting dragged down. So Bellmore will look to get some points on the board before this one's all said and done. And coming to the game at the defensive line spot, Ryan Tessar. So one wide receiver lined up to the near side. It's Justice Shaw. And this time it looked like they gave it to Christopoulos, who barrels his way up the middle. So Big Christopoulos gets it inside the 5. And Bellmore looking to get inside the end zone. Shaw's the receiver to the far side. And it's Christopoulos. Check that. That was Trampus, and he gets into the end zone. Christian Trampus had a phenomenal drive. He strung together a bunch of amazing runs, showing off the speed and athleticism. And that time, number 5 in white, Christian Trampus, will get inside the end zone. Let's take another look. So that time, Trampus takes the snap, gets the outside, and is able to break the plane. So now for the conversion, this time it's to Christopoulos, and he's in. So Bellmore will get points on the board. And with this conversion, we saw Christian Trampus get into the end zone for the touchdown. But this time, let's give it to the Cowboy. It's Christopoulos taking the direct snap, and he will not be denied. And don't go anywhere just yet, we have the 12U championship here in the Nassau County Youth Football League as Bellmore taking on Franklin Square. This one promises to be a good one here at 4:30 on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Join us for that special one. So 125 in this one, and Massapequa on their way to a title. And I mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, when I was talking to, these coaches about Massapequa, it wasn't about the stats or who's been scoring the most touchdowns. It was really about all of these guys being together. And they said the best overall thing about this team and about this program is how much they care for each other. And say, you've been seeing them supporting each other as much as they can. And they got a 27-7 lead. And we'll see if Massapequa runs a play or if they'll take a knee. And they do exactly that. And that will do it. The 11U Nassau County Youth Football Champs, the Massapequa Mustangs. They win 27-7. And the Gatorade bath. The Mustangs are loving it. They win the 11U championship. Justin Fazzolari throws 2 touchdowns to Connor Big Play Sheridan. And this Massapequa defense was all over the field, and the Mustangs are loving it. So Massapequa over Bellmore, 27-7. And not only do they do it on offense, really felt like all aspects of the game. On defense and in the trenches, Pequa came to play. But on the flip side for Bellmore, you have to be proud of the season that the Braves put together. Not only on the field, but off the field. And a lot of exceptional athletes on this Bellmore team. And, of course, when they come back for their 12U season, they will have a mission on their minds. Wouldn't be surprised to see them in this stage. And for the Mustangs, you see the celebration continue. What a moment for these kids here from Massapequa. Something they certainly won't forget. An 11U championship for the Mustangs, and the cheerleaders loving it as well. And Massapequa over Bellmore, the final, 27-7. And we'll have the 12U championship game between Franklin Square and Bellmore when we come back. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Jared Veluzzi. See you soon.